our DJ's about to start.
This is the quick. I'm not gonna make special graphics. This is like get on the train. We joked about our segment. How many gnats do you think you drank?
God, a lot. So many gnats are getting in my beer.
Welcome to Florida, y'all.
They like it, but anyway.
Real quick.
I think it's like too dark.
I took the sunglasses off.
I'm gonna just put them up.
I couldn't Biden it anymore.
Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, just real quick. We watched a great movie recently called
Triangle of Sadness.
Triangle of Sadness.
You know what? I use that term now all the time.
The part between your forehead and eyebrow?
So one of my students was, howdy.
Yeah.
And I go, soften your triangle. I didn't say triangle of sadness. I said, soften your triangle of anger.
Okay, that's good.
And let's move on. They're like, triangle of what? I'm like, see right here?
Yeah.
This is your triangle.
So the other night we watched Triangle of Sadness.
And I have to say, you brought this to the table. I've
been wanting to see this movie since the trailer we saw it first time ever.
See, this shows that you're a better judge of movies than me. And I'll give you that.
Only because I spend hours on end each week just watching trailers.
Yeah. And I can't because I just fall asleep. But I was not excited to see it because of the trailer.
Because the trailer on the cruise ship vomiting.
It focuses on so much vomiting. And I have this like aversion to vomiting scenes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I do not want to watch I thought it was a story about food and then everyone getting seasick on a ship. And it's not.
You know what it is? It's the best, because there's been a lot of them lately. It's like the best Eat the Rich movie.
Here we are, right? Talking about eating the rich again.
But not only do they eat the rich, they vomit the rich.
You want to eat the rich.
No, we've already said them all about. You know, we've already said them all about Eat the Rich.
I'm not all about Eat the Rich, but I did like the message in this story. I did.
Because here's the thing.
So this is the better Eat the Rich movie than The Menu.
Well, The Menu and any other Eat the Rich movie.
Yeah.
Of late.
Yeah. I agree. I loved this movie.
Because right now there's
I wasn't expecting to.
Right now there's a theme like Alice Darling. There's a theme in cinema right now of sort of that, like the Alice Darling, like the gaslighting, the narcissistic male,
power,
women kind of stepping up and voicing, which is a great message in film. There's also another theme in film right now, this like Eat the Rich down with the elite, which I think is funny because these are films made by the elite, but that's a whole nother story.
True.
But this is one we complain with The Menu that there's no subtlety. This is a movie that somehow masters subtlety and over the topness at the exact same time.
I agree. This movie has everything. It has.
I mean, it hits you over the head with it, but at the same time.
But it doesn't.
It does it in such a subtle way.
And it's funny and it's dramatic and you connect with the characters and you.
That's the point. The characters, even
the
folks who are the elite and the rich. I'm thinking the Russian who makes his money from shit.
You still connect
with him. Which is hilarious, right?
And his wife.
How does he make all this money? It's fertilizer and he's a fertilizer business. And then the English family that made their money on hand grenades.
But the ending, I loved the ending. It was so unexpected to me.
Well,
it was so unexpected to me.
Well, two things.
Ending.
One, the trailer,
the ending, really the last third of the movie.
The trailer makes you think that the whole thing takes place on a cruise ship.
It doesn't.
1/3 of it takes place. There's 3 parts.
Right. Yeah.
1/3 takes part on the cruise ship, which is some of the funniest stuff happens on the cruise ship with Woody Harrelson, the dinner scene.
But the more meaningful stuff doesn't happen.
The more meaningful stuff happens in part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was completely surprised by that aspect of the movie. It does this
seamlessly, like Act 1 or Part 1 introduces you into this world of like high fashion and influencers.
And I thought it was all going to be about that.
And the kind of the emptiness of it all.
Yeah. I mean, it is, but it's not. Yeah.
But then it segues into it to like part 2 that lets you know like, oh, these folks, they're not really, they are pawns of it just like everyone else.
Yeah.
They're the pawns.
Social media, high fashion.
Yeah, and that you're so controlled by social media and image.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the movers and shakers, the puppet masters, right? They're the ones all on this cruise ship.
Yeah.
And it does this like the English show Upstairs, Downstairs, this like the elite versus the servants.
But
right? And then Act 3, it flips the whole table.
Flips the whole thing.
On social class and everything.
Because when extreme things happen.
She's like, this is really bad. This is really bad.
And people need to jump into action. Who's jumping into action? The elite or the people that know what the hell they're doing, can take care of everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cool.
It's really cool. Really cool movie. Like, we thoroughly enjoyed it, both of us.
I mean, I figured it would be good. Well, I hoped it would be good. It turned out to be really good.
I didn't expect to love it, and I loved it.
I'll say this. There's no way it wins Best Picture.
I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, although it should.
It's shocking, though, that it made up a nominee to me.
Yeah. I just told Sam, my son, about it, and he was like, I don't think it's in.
Yeah.
I think I know that guy, but that's okay.
So I know lots of guys.
So he's like, I don't think it made Best Picture. And I'm like, I think it did. And he checked, and he was like,
yeah, it definitely did.
And I think it's a movie for like all ages too.
It is and it isn't. I feel
I don't think younger people will get the whole message, but I still think they'll like it.
I think they'll see the humor in it. Because it's kind of like, you know, our most hated
younger people,
our
like
most hated on
us.
movie.
I mean, like really young people.
The Menu, like this also tells you, like, oh, here's how you do satire. Like, here's how you wink at the camera. You don't like just fully embrace your joke. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Menu has like no subtlety. This is just like, it's like we're winking. We're doing it. It's hilarious, but nothing is outwardly funny.
Yeah.
I think that's the mix of it. People who get it will get it. Other folks will think it's funny because of the whole vomiting scene, because of the stuff on the island with the pretzel sticks.
Yeah.
I think that's
funny.
the stuff people will think is funny. But that's what I mean. The movie says so much, and it never tells you what it's trying to say. It's like, you can figure this out.
Yeah.
The closest it does being heavy-handed is the opening scene, making fun of high fashion and consumer fashion with like H&M.
Yeah.
Sad brands, happy brands. Sad brands, happy brands, with all those shirtless men.
Yeah, I think it gives more trust in the audience of like figuring this out. You know, figuring out the.
Well, it's a foreign director. Yeah. It's like, and it has a great international feel to it as well.
It does, yeah.
Versus just being, it doesn't feel like it's trying to be anything other than its own movie, which I can't say that for things like The Menu and other things. Like even we've talked about, thinking about some of the other nominees, right? Everything Everywhere All at Once is trying to be so many things.
Yeah.
Top Gun is trying to be something, it's trying to recreate magic, like Avatar.
Yeah, Triangle of Sadness is definitely its own thing.
Few movies are trying to be its own thing. I think The Banshees is another one that's trying to be its own thing.
Yeah.
Avish and Sharon. But no, so I think the surprise film has been Triangle of Sadness.
I loved it.
Not since Benedetta has there been a movie.
That's so true.
This engaging and interesting.
We both liked so much.
Yeah.
Like, that's so true. No, usually.
But I'm saying both Benedetta and now Triangle of Sadness
are very unique.
Again, by non-American directors.
Movies. Yeah.
You see the trailer and you go, oh boy.
Yeah.
This is over. This is too much.
It's too much. Yeah.
And then you watch it and you go, oh no, this is like artful.
Oh yeah, like Benedetta, you're like, oh, this is like pure lesbianism, But it's not.
No.
It's not.
Yeah.
There's a different message in there, you know.
but then you're sitting in them and you're watching them and it's like 10, 15 minutes in. And you
feel like you're watching something different.
You're
special.
like, this is why you watch movies.
Yeah. I agree.
This is how the art movie can still be like an art form film to push.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it was great. Like, it was great. It's gonna, I can't wait for top 5, bottom 5.
I know we might have 2 contenders in this episode alone.
True. I'm glad that I can bring some bottom 5 nominees to the table for us.
You never know. We have a lot of movie to watch this year, so we'll see.
It's true.
All right. So for audio, we'll talk Interest of Love in a second at the beach. For video, we'll see in another video.
We'll see in another video.
All right. We can cheers here.
Yeah, let's cheers.
Mid podcast cheers.
Cheers.
Bye for now.
This was fun.
All right.
Bye.
Ciao.